Breaking today, Princess Leonor weds Christian, royal fans in tears. A royal dream. A love once whispered in secret. Now, reality. Spain weeps. Denmark celebrates. The world watches, breathless. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian, united at last. But behind the cheers, lies a story no one expected. It happened today, the moment the world has waited for. The grand bells of Copenhagen's cathedral echoed through the crisp Danish air. Thousands lined the streets, waving Spanish and Danish flags side by side. The royal guards, in full regalia, stood motionless. Cameras flashed. And then, a hush. The doors opened. Princess Leonor of Spain, radiant and calm, stepped into the golden light. Her gown, a masterpiece crafted by Spain's most secretive designer, shimmered like liquid pearl. The veil, hand-stitched by royal seamstresses from both nations, symbolizing the unity of two crowns and two hearts. She paused, took a breath, and walked down the aisle, toward Prince Christian of Denmark, who stood waiting, visibly trembling, his blue eyes glistening with emotion. It was not just a royal wedding. It was history in motion. Across Spain, television screens flickered in plazas and cafes. In Madrid, thousands gathered outside the royal palace, holding white roses and Spanish flags. Some cried openly, waving pictures of Leonor as a child, the future queen they had watched grow up. In Copenhagen, crowds sang softly in Danish as church bells rang in harmony. The symbolism was undeniable. Two monarchies, once separate, now united in love and destiny. And yet, behind the joy, a quiet tension simmered. Because this wedding, though radiant, did not come without resistance. Their story began years ago, at royal gatherings, quiet exchanges, and fleeting glances when protocol demanded distance. Leonor, the disciplined, dutiful heir to the Spanish throne. Christian, the charismatic, free-spirited Prince of Denmark. Two young royals, raised under pressure, expected to marry for duty, not for love. But love found them anyway. Reports first surfaced in whispers, a friendship between the Spanish princess and the Danish heir. Few believed it. Fewer approved. Royal insiders dismissed it as a youthful crush. But those who knew them personally saw the truth in their eyes. Over time, they defied expectation. Private visits between Zarzuela Palace and Amalienborg were arranged discreetly. Each encounter strengthened their bond, a shared understanding of duty, but also of heart. Not everyone in the royal circles was pleased. Behind palace walls, there were whispers of concern. Spain's monarchy, still rebuilding its image, could not risk scandal. Denmark's advisors feared Leonor's position might overshadow Christian's role. There were even quiet doubts about blending two reigning European monarchies, a move that could alter diplomatic traditions centuries old. But Leonor stood firm, calm, determined. Her mother, Queen Letizia, once a journalist who had faced her own royal resistance, became her silent ally. Her father, King Felipe, torn between tradition and love for his daughter, eventually gave his blessing, not as a monarch, but as a father. And so, despite the odds, the union was approved. Still, few believed the wedding would truly happen, until today. Inside the cathedral, the atmosphere shifted. As Leonor and Christian approached the altar, the Danish choir began to sing a hauntingly beautiful hymn, one written specifically for this ceremony. Their vows were short, personal, and spoken in both Spanish and Danish, alternating languages as a symbol of unity. When Christian said, "Jeg lover dig mit gjort for evict, I promise you my heart forever," Leonor's eyes filled with tears. And when she replied in Spanish, "Te amaré más allá de las coronas, más allá del tiempo, I will love you beyond crowns, beyond time," there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Even the most stoic members of both royal families were moved. The guest list was the definition of royal diplomacy. King Charles III, Queen Margrethe, Queen Letizia, King Felipe, Crown Princess Mary, every major European monarchy represented. But the attention wasn't just on the royals, it was on the people. The thousands outside, waving flags and crying with joy. The Spanish students studying abroad in Denmark who gathered to sing, "Viva España," as the newlyweds emerged. The Danish youth holding banners that read, "Kærlighed foreigner, love unites." It was no longer just about royal lineage. It was about hope. When Leonor and Christian exited the cathedral, hand in hand, the cheers were deafening. The moment they stepped onto the balcony of Amalienburg Palace, cameras zoomed in from around the world. Then it happened, the kiss. Soft, genuine, timeless. The crowd erupted into tears and applause. Social media exploded. Hashtag Leonor and Christian immediately trended across Europe, Latin America, and the US. Commentators called it Europe's new Diana moment. But for those who watched closely, it wasn't about celebrity. It was about two young people, born into destiny, daring to choose love over politics. In Madrid, the scene was almost cinematic. Thousands gathered outside the royal palace, chanting Leonor's name. Some waved Danish flags in solidarity. Others clutched their hearts, overwhelmed by pride and nostalgia. Many recalled the day of Leonor's first speech as heir apparent, when she was just 13, and compared it to today, her wedding day. An elderly woman interviewed by Spanish television said softly, "We've watched her grow. Today, she isn't just our princess. She's our daughter." Queen Letizia, elegant, but visibly emotional, was seen wiping tears as her daughter said her vows. King Felipe smiled proudly, though his expression betrayed the bittersweet reality of letting go. In Denmark, Queen Margrethe's gentle smile spoke volumes. She, too, seemed to understand the magnitude of what this union meant for both nations. For both families, it was not just a wedding, it was a merging of histories, cultures, and futures. The ceremony's grandeur didn't happen overnight. Months of secret planning took place between Madrid and Copenhagen. Every detail, from the menu to the music, was meticulously chosen to blend Spanish passion with Danish tradition. The menu featured both gazpacho and smørrebrød. The orchestra alternated between Spanish guitar and Danish strings. Even the floral arrangements told a story, white lilies from Madrid, red roses from Copenhagen, intertwined. And the gown, rumored to have cost over €1 million, was inspired by Queen Sophia's wedding dress, with modern touches reflecting Leonor's own personality, elegant, restrained, yet undeniably strongly. From London to Los Angeles, the wedding dominated headlines. American morning shows aired live coverage, calling it the fairytale wedding Europe needed. Social media platforms were flooded with edits, fan tributes, and emotional reactions. But what truly resonated, beyond the glamour, was authenticity. It felt real. As the newlyweds rode through Copenhagen in the royal carriage, the air was thick with confetti and emotion. Children waved handmade signs. The couple waved back, smiling, laughing, whispering to each other like any two newlyweds. But beneath the joy lay a sense of transformation. The world had just witnessed the birth of a new royal chapter, not arranged, not strategic, but sincere. Two heirs from different kingdoms, united not by obligation, but by love. As night fell, the palace lit up in gold and red, the colors of Spain and Denmark shining together. The final image of the day, Leonor resting her head on Christian's shoulder during the evening banquet, the two exchanging quiet smiles amid centuries of tradition. And somewhere, perhaps watching from afar, millions of royal fans wiped away tears, not because of the spectacle, but because they believed, if only for a moment, that love really can conquer crowns. Today, Europe did not just witness a royal wedding. It witnessed history, love written into the legacy of two nations. Princess Leonor of Spain, Prince Christian of Denmark, two hearts, two crowns, one future. And across the world, royal fans whispered the same words through their tears. Long live love.